Hello, it is Topical Tuesday, July 30th, 2019. Steve Sipress here, and I have upped the volume coming out of my mouth due to possibly you're having trouble hearing me over the storm that is brewing behind me. I figured, how cool is this for those of you that have not been in a monsoon at some point in your life? At least you can experience kind of what it's like here. You see the skies are very dark, foreboding rain clouds. The wind is whipping things around. So far, none of the furniture has been flying across the backyard, but that might occur at any minute. My beautiful wife Michelle was just asking, should we get that umbrella out of there? We shall see. See the waves in the pool. It's almost good enough to go surfing. However, it's Topical Tuesday, and the Mueller testimony, this corrupt, swamp-dwelling special prosecutor Robert Mueller, once a war hero and a patriot in his youth, has become, as almost everyone does in Washington, D.C., a corrupt swamp dweller, making millions of dollars in corrupt ways. And but anyway, this isn't about politics, this is about business and marketing. I'm going to give you two big lessons to be learned that all business owners should employ in your business based on what happened with Robert Mueller and his investigation. So, number one, Robert Mueller had almost nothing to do with the investigation, which nobody would have known from the 2 years of total secrecy. Oh, he's totally secret. He's not even doing it. Yeah, that's because he's not doing anything. He doesn't even know what's going on. And then he comes out and he says, here's the report, and that's it. See you. And then everyone's clamoring for, you've got to explain the report. He comes out for a press conference, and of course somebody else wrote the script. He just reads off the script and he goes, that's it, I'm not going to testify. Now I'm totally done. Then they send him a subpoena and say you have to testify. And now, for the first time, the truth comes out. You see, Robert Mueller did what every successful business owner and entrepreneur should do, which is not get involved in the day-to-day doing of your business. That's what Mueller did. Mueller was a leader. Fantastic. He oversaw the thing. He likely didn't do any of the hiring. He likely didn't do any of the interviewing. He said, I was in very few of them. That might mean none. Might mean a couple. It almost undoubtedly means he wasn't the lead interviewer in any of them. Why would he do that, and why would you do that? So you want to follow the lead of Robert Mueller. Be the title, the titular head of your business, the CEO. Your name is on the wall, on the business. Even if it's not, Jones Plumbing and your name is Jones, you're the owner of the business. It's your business, just like it's Mueller's investigation, even though he had nothing to do with the whole investigation. And likely the first time ever he read any of the report was, in the week before the hearing, and they even said, we got to move it ahead another week to give him another chance. He probably read only halfway through. And then he pulled in his chief of staff guy to sit next to him, because it's likely that guy, and from things that you hear, that guy was, as it should be, the right-hand person coordinating behind-the-scenes stuff. That's like your personal executive assistant, coordinating your calendar and your scheduling and doing all the stuff. They're like, he set up all the interviews and all the meetings and all the subpoenas and all the whatever, and Mueller they slapped his name on it. And why did they pick Robert Mueller to head an investigation that had never, of course, had a purpose of finding the truth or investigating any kind of Russian interference with the election? That was just the premise, to take down Trump. And so why would they put a patriot who supposedly been a lifelong Republican and clearly a conservative? You can still see that in his disastrous, embarrassing, stammering, stuttering, dilapidated testimony. You can still see he's very conservative. He wasn't, going off on tangents and going crazy. He was sticking to things, being very by-the-book person. That's the person you put when you know that the plan is to hire all anti-Trumper Democrats who are Mueller would never even be in the same room with, would never talk to, get all these people that are the total opposite spectrum, but that would really look bad. If you got all these anti-Trumpers to investigate Trump, people would just freak out, and it would look bad. So you slap the name on it of Robert Mueller. And that leads me to lesson number 2. Lesson number 2 to be learned from the debacle known as the Mueller investigation, Mueller report, Mueller testimony was all a disaster. Waste of time, money, and everything other than the entertainment value, and it did what it was meant to do. Disrupted, if not totally taking down, at least disrupted wildly the Trump administration. So it succeeded in its goal. But here's what you do. The tactic I'm talking about here is known as the celebrity endorsement in the business world. Where you get someone, a celebrity, to say, I use Joe's plumbing services. Joe's plumbing services are great. I'm just doing that to keep it simple, but you have a great glowing testimonial from a celebrity. You want to hire a celebrity to be the face of your business because that brings instant credibility. That's what Mueller did to this band of anti-Trumper, corrupt, not investigating the truth, just looking to take down Trump and doing all kinds of things behind the scenes. I mean, all we saw was some text messages from a couple of them. You can imagine if you could see all the text messages from all of the investigators that were in that Mueller group, because they were all doing unethical things and talking about how much they hate Trump and they're taking him down, and we don't care about what 60 million people voted for. We know better. We're the establishment. We're the swamp, and what we say goes. And this was supposed to be a Bush versus a Clinton, and who's this guy coming out of nowhere who says, I'm going to drain the swamp? We're not going to let that happen. We're going to take him down. But again, we can't just do that. It would be seen as what it was: completely partisan, complete hack job, complete takedown, not a real investigation at all. And so I know, let's get a celebrity to endorse it. Let's get a famous name with a great reputation, even though, as we all saw in the disastrous testimony, Mueller is a shadow of his former self. The guy, is a doddering old fool right now for whatever reason. However, for 2 years, everyone was, Mueller, he's a strong prosecutor. He's a by-the-book. Oh, my goodness, if you could be a fly on the wall when he, went to work every day, and what did he do? Sit in his office and, do crossword puzzles? No, probably couldn't even do that. But I don't play checkers or tiddlywinks or twiddle his thumbs or watch TV or whatever. That's the same thing as your celebrity endorser can do. They don't have to do anything in your business. They can't. They don't know anything about your business. They don't work in your business. They don't do anything, but they give credibility to it. So those are the 2 lessons. Number 1, Robert Mueller, even though he had nothing to do in the investigation, now it's starting to pour out here, so I'm going to move a little in under the underhang. But you might be able to see now the skies have opened up. And yeah, you can see in the pool it is completely pouring back there. Alex is here. Good seeing you. Alex, I remember the time Alex is like, we're thinking of moving down there. We're going to come down there in like July or August just to see what it's like. I'm like, dude, are you out of your mind? No, it is not rare. Rain happens every day here this time of year. This is known as the monsoon season. And so, again, no reason to come down. All you have to do is pay attention that just about every day at this time, we'll have a storm, we'll have dust clouds, we'll have flooding, we'll have massive rains. We live up here in the mountains on a wash where rain will be flooding down and flooding the streets because there's not a lot of drainage here because rain only happens in monsoon season, and it happens for like 15-20 minutes, torrential downpour, 80-mile-an-hour winds. Tomorrow morning, the obligatory local news will show trees down and power lines down and roofs blown off of houses under construction, flooding, cars stuck in the floods, and all kinds of damage and whatever. That's a daily occurrence here during monsoon season. So I figured I'd shoot the video and you guys can get a little taste of it. And already the wind has fairly died down and the rain has fairly died down. Maybe a calm before the storm is going to kick up again. Anyway, it'll kick up again just about every day. That'll do it for Topical Tuesday. Those are the 2 lessons to be learned from the Robert Mueller embarrassing debacle. Number 1, You are the head of the business. Doesn't mean you do any of the doing of the business. Follow the lead of Robert Mueller, who didn't do anything. That's the way it's supposed to be done. Bravo, Robert Mueller. Put your name on it. It's your thing forever, known as he was the prosecutor. He's his report, his whatever. And of course, he didn't even know what was in the report or what page, anything, or who wrote whatever. Like, that's the way it should be in your business too. You should not be involved in the details of doing the business. And number two, you want to get a celebrity endorsement. Now, by the way, as a little bonus tip here, it is much easier than you think to get a celebrity endorser for your business. What you do is you don't go to current stars, current actors, current athletes. You go to former actors and former athletes. Former actors a little more tricky because technically they never technically have to announce they're retiring. They're always hoping to get another role, and sometimes a child actor is acting again 30 years later. But what I mean is someone out of the limelight. So an actor who was on something and is now not on anything, make him an offer. Get in contact with them and make him an offer. You never know when something went wrong and they went through a divorce or had a bad investment or something and they could just use a little cash. And you can offer them almost nothing, and they will come and show up on a Saturday afternoon at your business and sign autographs, and you can make a whole big deal out of it and attract a lot of people to your business. Or same thing with former athletes, a lot more clear. You know that this former athlete from 20 years ago can show up and endorse your whatever, or get on your video, or do your commercial, and the less known he is, this especially works well with athletes. Well, it's the same with actors. You promote what the role the actor was in more than the actor. So you say, he was in Back to the Future. It's not Michael J. Fox. He was in Back to the Future. So it's a complete nobody, but he happened to have been in the movie. You promote the movie. For an ex-baseball player, say, who hasn't played for 20 years, you say, down here, we would say he is an ex-player of the Arizona Diamondbacks, or he played for the L.A. Dodgers. No one ever heard of him. No one knows who he is. He was a minor player, but you promote the fact he played for the World Series champion L.A. Dodgers. He's going to come on Saturday to our car dealership and sign autographs, and we're going to cook up some hot dogs and burgers, and you're going to be able to take pictures with him, and he'll let you wear his World Series ring, and when have you ever done that with him, blah, 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 blah. And you can get that for very little. But just like the Mueller team made sure to get Mueller as the name of that report, the celebrity endorser, person who had nothing to do with the whole thing, but he gave this air of legitimacy to the whole illegitimate nonsense that went on for years. And to some ultra deranged people, it's still going on for some reason. But those are the two big lessons every business owner should take and use based on the Robert Mueller, whatever you want to call it, investigation, witch hunt, hit job, nonsense, waste of time, report, testimony, whatever you want to call it. Those are the two big lessons. That'll do it for Topical Tuesday. Thanks everyone being here live. Watch on the replay, and I'll be back tomorrow on World Wide Web Wednesday. Every Wednesday I come to you with a tip specifically to help you make money via the internet. So from monsoon season just outside of Phoenix, Arizona, in the rain and the wind, that'll do it for today, and I will catch you tomorrow. Over and out. Bye-bye.